Halftime here at Joel Coliseum. The Deacons with a 36-27 lead. Ben Ebong and Roy Philpott here with you. And Ben, an exciting first half, a first half filled with runs and kind of what we expected.
Well, very exciting. The Seton Hall Pirates did a great job of getting high percentage shots inside with Teague, but unfortunately late in the first half they had a lot of turnovers that led to easy baskets for Wake, and once Wake got in the open floor, they finished and made them pay.
Let's take a look at our first half highlights, and you're going to see a lot of C.J. Harris, and also Wake Forest able to capitalize on a lot of Seton Hall turnovers. Edwin got the Hall off to a fast start, however.
Well, early run by Seton Hall had them leading the contest. They did a great job of pounding the ball inside, keeping the ball on the block with Teague and getting high percentage baskets inside.
Teague with 8 points, also 6 rebounds in the early going. He was one of the difference makers. And then Mackay and the defense really took over.
You can see that not only Travis Mackay, but everybody on the Wake Forest team turned up the pressure a little bit. And once they were able to get out and run, you see Travis Mackay there leading the break from his power forward position and able to get a finish inside.
Wake Forest with 20 points off of Seton Hall's turnovers in the first half, totaling 10. I'm told that is their season high in terms of points off of turnovers, and really that was the entire tone of this first half, that and C.J. Harris, of course.
Well, Coach Willard was worried about that, saying that they have some youth at the point guard position and they wanted to make sure they took care of the ball, and obviously if you take a look at those numbers, those 12 turnovers, the difference in the game.
3-point shooting, Seton Hall ice cold, just 1 of 10 from long range. That was on their first attempt, so the Pirates missed their last 9 straight to close that first half. Halftime, second half action coming up next. Deacons with a 9-point lead. Can Seton Hall rebound? We'll find out shortly. Back here at Joel Coliseum, Wake Forest with a 9-point lead. C.J. Harris, the story in the first half, tying a career high. Those 5 3-pointers, 17 points overall. He had a lot of open looks in that first half, Ben.
Well, that's one thing you can't do. You can't leave C.J. Harris open from the 3-point line. He's already shown as a third-team All-ACC player that he can knock down that shot. That is his game. So if you let him have open looks, you're going to pay. Those baskets are going in the hoop.
Harris, averaging just over 12 per game this year, is actually the leading scorer returning in the ACC for 2012 and 13. Underway, Wake Forest basketball. Mackay dribble it out. Wake Forest will set up its offense. Important note, both of these teams capable of the comeback. Seton Hall rallying from 13 down against Rhode Island earlier this year. And Wake Forest has come back from double-digit deficits on 2 occasions as well.
Chase Fisher there trying to find his rhythm from deep.
Inside it goes to Teague. Too easy that time.
Well, that was the story of the game in the first half, and you see Seton Hall picked up right where it left off, throwing the ball inside to Teague. Teague with a nice spin move on the baseline to finish.
Pirates back within 7. Miller McIntyre with it, and Seton Hall back in his zone.
Let's keep an eye on the changing defenses again. I think that was part of the problem that Seton Hall got into when Wake Forest started changing defenses. They got him in trouble, and they caught him sleeping, and a couple turnovers there led to easy fast break buckets.
Can't do that. C.J. Harris, a new career high with 6 3-pointers.
He went in the locker room, sat down for about 20 minutes, stood up, and he's still on fire. Can you imagine that?
Maybe we'll see Kevin Willard and company get out of that 2-3 zone at 2.
He's already proven that once he gets out there, you really have to chase him off of that line, make him do something else.
Trying the pick and roll game. Teague, 12 points, and the travel. Boy, turnovers have really been costly for the Pirates. That's number 13.
Uncharacteristic for them. Hopefully they'll settle down here. They're trying to get an easy look right there. I believe Eugene Teague should have shot that ball. They worked so hard to get him the ball in the paint. He's got to shoot that. He's got to finish that play.
Harris was wide open again. Instead, a nice look to Mackay.
And Mackay gets it down low and does just what we said. He takes it up strong and finishes it.
Deacons with their largest lead at 12. $14 turnovers. Miller McIntyre with a 4-on-2 break. And that's one he'd love to have back.
Yeah, had a 4-on-2 break there. Just couldn't get it to convert. I believe Miller McIntyre thought Mackay was cutting to the basket. Mackay faded out towards the 3-point line.
Seton Hall basketball just underway in our second half. The Pirates trying to rally. 9-point halftime deficit, and you can't do it like that. Travis Mackay, too easy.
It almost looks like an instant replay from a couple of the plays we saw in the first half. Mackay in the passing lane going in and throwing it down effortlessly. Seton Hall's really got to take care of the ball here.
Mackay in double figures. Eugene Teague with the answer. Teague now with 14.
Again, a replay from the first half. Teague inside, finishing over either shoulder.
Just joining us, Seton Hall with an early 9-4 lead. Wake Forest responded with a 7-0 run. Since then, it's been pretty much all Deeks. Thomas misses there.
Seton Hall with an opportunity here.
Back to Teague. Well, they found something inside, obviously, but they can't just rely on Eugene Teague this entire half.
No, they can't. They've done a great job of getting him the ball inside. Now, if they can just eliminate the turnovers, they'll be able to capitalize on those baskets that Eugene Teague is providing on the interior.
Kai misses the 3, and a foul will be called against Miller McIntyre, his first, and the first team foul against Wake.
Haven't heard much of Fuquan Edwin. He's the leading scorer of this team by a wide margin. They need him to take control of the backcourt, and
this defense really needs to be utilized here as well. As another foul here against Seton Hall as Eugene Teague picks up his second. If you're Kevin Willard, what do you tell your team at halftime? You started strong, obviously, Ben, but faltered down the stretch. What's his message coming into the second half?
Well, he's telling his team, we've got to go back to the basics. Do what we did at the beginning of the game and take care of the basketball. Obviously, when you look at it, the difference in this game was just those turnovers. And Wake Forest to be able to get wide open, easy layups, as they've shown here in the beginning of the second half. If they can eliminate those turnovers, keep getting baskets from Eugene Teague inside, as well as get some contributions from the outside with Fuquan Edwin and Cosby, they'll be just fine.
Mackay off the miss by Fisher. I'll head to the line for 2. Wake Forest has opened this second half just as strong as it ended the first.
Yeah, just a change in body language by Seton Hall. They came out so aggressive, on fire offensively and on defense, and Here, they've had a couple mental mistakes, giving up second chance points, not boxing out. And that's not typical of a Kevin Willard coach team.
Guy's been in the right place at the right time, drawing the foul there. Buries the second free throw. Make back on top by 12. Here's the man that really needs to get going, Fuquan Edwin. Came into this game averaging over 18. That's just 7 thus far. Now Edwin with a nice move, the teardrop.
Nice aggressive moves. He's got a lot in his arsenal. We've been waiting to see that all night long.
Pirates back in a man-to-man defense. For Seton Hall, it's important. You're not going to get it all back on one possession. Comes down to playing great defense, some timely shooting.
Well, that's the thing. Seton Hall isn't as young as Wake is, but they've got a lot of newcomers, and sometimes when they go inside the tee, Fuquan Edwin gets lost out there. They've got to find a balance.
Turnover for the Deeks. Seton Hall with numbers. Smythe over to Edwin. Back to Smythe for 3. And now 1 of 11 from behind the arc.
Not finding their range here, their footing on the road.
Fisher. Oh. Trying to defend Mackay, and they can't do it again.
Beautiful feed by Cody Miller McIntyre, drawing the defense, no look pass. And again, Mackay effortlessly throwing the basket home.
This really has just become a Travis Mackay highlight factory here.
That beats his entrepreneurship final yesterday, I'm sure.
I'm sure it does. Offensive foul, and well, the crowd doesn't like it, and Seton Hall may have gotten away with one there as Smythe able to draw that from the shoulder of C.J. Harris. Deacons on top by 12. It'll be Pirates basketball when we come back. Miller McIntyre, the sweet dish to Travis Mackay.
Service to our local Triad community. At each men's home basketball game, Wake Forest Athletics will present a Community Service Award. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome Richard Watts, the principal of Winston-Salem Preparatory Academy. Watts was named Principal of the Year for Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. Watts has been principal of Winston-Salem Preparatory Academy since 2007 and has worked for the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools for almost 30 years as a teacher, assistant principal, and a principal. At this time, David Deacon will present Richard Watts with a commemorative certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for tonight's Community Service Award winner, Principal of the Year for Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, Richard Watts.
Back here in Winston-Salem, Wake Forest with a 12-point advantage as we now take you inside the play.
Eugene Teague, 6'9", 290, with a nice spin there on the baseline, able to finish the play. He is the immovable object. If they're able to get it down to him, finish off either shoulder. Nice turn there, and even in transition, able to finish with authority. They haven't had an answer for Eugene Teague yet inside. Seton Hall just has to take care of the ball, and be able to get the ball to some of their scorers.
Not always the easiest thing to do as well, to finish with both hands that close to the basket for a fellow of that size. Teague with 16 points and 6 rebounds.
Well, that's his advantage. When you can get him out in space and he gets his spot on the block, you're not really going to be able to move him. And because he can finish so adeptly with both hands, he becomes a difficulty for any matchup.
Oh, and a careless turnover there. 18 turnovers tonight for the Pirates. Able to run the baseline. That's a travel.
It's just little things, you know, like we said, Seton Hall's had 5 players join the team this year, and it takes a while to get acclimated back to high-level basketball. And he made several mental mistakes here down the stretch that cost him some points.
Wake Forest offensively shooting at a 44% clip. Just 8 turnovers compared to 18 for the Pirates. And then we mentioned way back in pregame, C.J. Harris and Travis McKay had to have big nights. So far, 34 of the 47 Wake Forest points.
That makes every coach on that Wake Forest bench happy, because they've been waiting for that all year. With those two leading the way, they have no worries about those 7 freshmen following their lead.
Quan Edwin getting to the charity stripe. Al didn't like it, but he got hammered from the backside that time.
Kevin Willard wants to see that. He needs some other guys besides Eugene T here being aggressive and getting high percentage shots inside. Got to get Fuquan Edwin going.
Edwin, a 60% free throw shooter on the season.
You would think a guy with his scoring ability would be a better free throw shooter than that. He's still developing as a player with an unbelievable upside.
Misses the second. Madison Jones with a board. Big nights for the senior and the junior, Harris and McKay. Been critical point in this game right now with 13:22 remaining. Wake Forest just kind of humming along here quite nicely in Seton Hall. First things first, in need of a couple of stops.
Well, that's the most important thing. They need to get stops because Wake Forest has just been too easy for guys like Travis McKay getting layups on the break and easy finishes inside. So whether it's a foul or it's just some tenacity, they've got to change the pace of this game.
Foul call against Seton Hall. Teague picks up his third. Tyler Cavanaugh at the line. Cavanaugh, 75% free throw shooter. Connected on 2 of 2 in the first half. You love the big man that can get to the line and convert. Such a weapon.
No, he's a talented freshman from New York. He actually came in on the game on Wednesday against High Point and had 5 offensive rebounds. So they're looking for more of that from him as the season progresses.
6'9", 230, misses the second. Edwin with the board. Wake Forest in control of this game. A pair of 7-0 runs in the first half. Mayan has it, sizing up the 3 now inside to T. 3 ball on the way, and it's good. Let's see if that gets the Pirates offense off and running. Aaron Cosby, just the second 3-pointer made tonight for Seton Hall, and here's a turnover.
Now you see it. That's what we were talking about. The inside game leading the wide open threes. Nice knockdown by Cosby. And right back to back, they get a turnover. That ball back to Seton Hall.
Back to where we were at halftime, a 9-point Wake Forest lead. Ryan nearly had his pocket pick. Seton Hall fortunate. Edwin the long ball. And Mobley unable to get his 11th rebound. Actually has a career high 10.
Good hustle there by Mobley. Wake Forest a little bit loose with the ball here in the early second half.
This is where a young team's going to be challenged. Tyler Cavanaugh.
You could see Seton Hall didn't even close out to Tyler Cavanaugh. They left him alone. I don't think they know that he can make that shot.
If they didn't know before, they know now. Started to warm up these last couple of games for the Deeks. Edwin wide open from long range, and a foul is going to be called. as he tried to get loose.
If that's on Eugene Teague, that's his fourth. That's an important foul because they've been playing through him all night. So let's see what they do. It looks like they're going to go small here.
And Teague goes to the bench with 4 fouls. How huge is that? Now under 12 to play.
Let's keep a look at that. It's 11:50 on the clock. Eugene Teague goes to the sideline. Let's see how it affects this team here in the last 11 minutes of the game. Kevin Willard is elected to go small rather than bring in another big. He went small, and they're playing with several forwards out there trying to create more pressure and turnovers.
C.J. Harris with 6 3-pointers today. Now he's going to draw the foul, and he took a shot right in the nose. And for Harris, that did not feel good. Under 12 media timeout, the Demon Deacons leading Seton Hall by 12. C.J. Harris will check his status right after this. Deacons with a 12-point lead, 11:31 remaining. C.J. Harris took a shot right across his face. And, Ben, they're going to call this a flagrant 1 foul.
That was a pretty tough shot by Mobley's elbow into C.J. Harris's. Oh, looked like he got him in the eye there. And that's been about the only thing that Seton Hall's been able to do to slow C.J. Harris down tonight because he's been on fire.
A senior with 20 points on 7 of 10 from the field, 6 of 8 from long range. They'll go back to the line to shoot 2, and Wake Forest will keep the basketball as well. So a huge sequence right there in favor of the Deeks, despite the elbow right in the face of Harris. Ben, what does Seton Hall have to do to get back into this game right now? Because it feels like Wake Forest has all the momentum in the world.
Well, they've got to do 2 things. One, they've got to take care of the ball on offense, so those conversions that they're getting inside really matter. They're not trading basket. And the second thing they need to do, they need to play better defense. They need to slow down Wake Forest and not give up those easy baskets that they're getting in transition and on the interior.
First free throw of the night for Harris.
And boy, when I say easy baskets, giving C.J. Harris a 3-pointer is an easy basket. That's his shot. That's his game. And letting him come out here and shoot in games the way he practices is going to be a layup for him.
Wake led by 14 earlier in this second half. It's your largest lead versus any team this season. Inside to Kavanaugh. To Edwin, 3 ball on the way from Cosby, no good. Edwin there to clean the glass. And Ben, every opportunity Seton Hall you feel like has to grab some momentum, they just can't find a way to complete the 3-point play or get a big basket.
Well, they're going to be kicking themselves when they watch this play right here. Fuquan Edwin leaves it for Cosby, and that's his shot, but good hand, good closeout. But Fuquan Edwin right on the glass, able to get an offensive rebound and hopefully make 2 free throws.
Keep in mind the Pirates averaging 39% from long range as a team coming into this game. Tonight, just 14%, 2 of 14 from behind the arc.
And that's their game. They're a 3-point shooting team. So when you're not making those shots, you've got to do it in other ways. You've got to turn up the defense. You've got to find ways to get easy baskets until you can knock down a couple from long range.
As we get set to move under 11 minutes to play, the Pirates in need of a couple of stops. Wake Forest on cruise control. Dalamoto. Dalamoto seeing more time earlier in the season. Still averaging 4.5 and 3 rebounds. Great athlete at 6'6", 225, and he's got a bright future here in Winston-Salem.
What you like about a Dalamoto is he's not afraid to stick his nose in there. A lot of times freshmen come in the game and they want to shoot fadeaway shots or just shoot from behind the arc. A Dalamoto, if you look at his baskets, he catches the ball and he's leaning towards the rim going in, and that's why he's created opportunities for himself to be on the free throw line.
Just 33% from the line thus far this season. Looked pretty smooth there. Rebound comes down to Oliver. Brian Oliver has been ultra quiet tonight.
They're waiting for an explosion from him too. He's a scorer from the ACC. Scored 32 against Syracuse when he was playing at Georgia Tech, and they're waiting for him to show some of that this year here with the Pirates.
And transferred out of there after Paul Hewitt was dismissed. Edwin back to the line, and this is a play that's going to work for the Pirates. Edwin can create his own shot, can handle contact. We'll shoot a couple here.
Not sure if the refs are calling it a little bit tighter or if both coaches are animated, telling their teams to get in to the opponent on defense, because we're trading free throws back and forth here, and as you can see, the level of play and level of defense has been turned up a notch.
Wake Forest led by 9 in intermission. They lead by 10 with 10.5 to play. Story of this game has been C.J. Harris, 21 points, on fire from long range. And Seton Hall's been cold from behind the arc as well. What was that you said about a Dalamoto not afraid to stick his nose in there?
Not afraid to stick his nose in there. And once again, he's on the free throw line. Seton Hall having some trouble here figuring out how to slow down Wake Forest without fouling. They came out, now they're in a zone. We talked about Teague going out of the basketball game and how they will respond, and they're playing a zone, and right now Wake Forest is doing a good job of getting that zone inside and getting easy baskets and getting to the free throw line.
At what point does Kevin Willard go back to his bench and bring back in Eugene Teague with 4 fouls?
Well, I would say it's a bit early right now with 10 minutes remaining in the game, but he's got another player inside, Kevin Johnson, who they're really excited about. So it's interesting to see if he brings in Kevin Johnson, who, if you take a look at him, he looks a lot like Eugene Teague out there.
Mobley. That's one way to get the offense going.
That's what Tom Mayen can do. Distribute the ball, penetrate the defense, and break it down, and Mobley showing you some of his athleticism.
Here's a steal by Edwin. Fuquan Edwin. Now count that, that'll be goaltending, and that's something we have not seen very much from Edwin tonight. We mentioned earlier, led the nation in steals per game a season ago. And this is what you love to see if you're a Pirates fan, is Edwin in transition.
And that's what Seton Hall needs more of. That was Seton Hall giving Wake Forest a taste of its own medicine, getting a steal in transition and able to convert.
Seton Hall back in within 8, 9:57 remaining. We'll step out, take our next break. More second half action here at Joel Coliseum. Headed your way next.
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo are on their way to catching Jeepers. Scooby-Doo Live Musical Mysteries is coming your Rises will be live January 21st in Jewel Coliseum. Tickets start at $14 and are available now at the Jewel Coliseum box office and all Ticketmaster soon.
It's the ACC on ESPN. Presented by Allstate here at Joel Coliseum. Demon Deacons lead Seton Hall 55-47. Fans are into it, and with good reason. Deeks trying to notch their way above 500. And we take a look at conference realignment here in the ACC. And Ben, what a wild couple of weeks it's been. Maryland going to the Big Ten. Louisville accepting an invitation from the ACC. And, of course, next year, this basketball league gets the additions of Syracuse and Pittsburgh.
A lot of changes going on in the landscape. It's kind of odd not seeing Maryland now in the ACC. They're one of the founding members. And it's interesting to see how the other two Big East members acclimate themselves to ACC basketball.
Of course, Notre Dame will also be inside the Atlantic Coast Conference in basketball in about 2 years. A lot of people talking about that. This conference really going to get a facelift of gargantuan proportions. And you have to believe it's probably going to be the best basketball league in the country once again. Meanwhile, Seton Hall in desperate need of another stop. They trail it by 8. Travis McKay from long range. Kavanaugh battling for the rebound. Oliver comes out of there with it. But another turnover. Adalamoto, quick hands that time.
Sticking his nose in there, not afraid of contact, and able to come up with the steal. Adalamoto there at half court.
And again, Seton Hall with a chance to grab momentum and create a scoring run. They can't do it. And Harris called for the foul. He can't believe it. That'll be his second. And Wake's 6th foul here in our second half. So Seton Hall will be in the bonus from here on out. Oh, I don't know about that one, Ben.
Quick hands there by Tom Mayen, and a little bit of acting from the Canaris basketball star.
Pirates with possession of the ball. They got a chance to trim it to 6 or possibly 5 with a long ball. Cosby thinking about a three-pointer. And another foul against Harris. And C.J. Harris has to be careful here, close to picking up a technical.
Crowd not happy with those back-to-back fouls on C.J. Harris, but Fuquan Edwin doing a good job of being active down inside. And look who we have there. Eugene Teague is back in the game. Double teamed them down in the post. Caused the turnover, travel.
Now that should have been a 1-and-1, I believe, Ben, after that 7th foul against Harris. And instead, Seton Hall inbounded.
I think they're discussing that right now as we speak.
I was wondering, is this not a player control foul or an issue in which there should not have been a shot? So if the referees, now this is an interesting dilemma because the play obviously ensued after the free throw should have been shot. So now they'll head over to the scorer's table and are they going to give the free throw back to Seton Hall? Now, this could be a big play in this game because momentum teetering on both sides.
Yeah, that was a turnover if you let the play stand, but I think Kevin Willard is saying, hey, I threw the red flag. Let's review that.
Him and me both from up here in the booth. There's the foul. Harris didn't like the call. That was the 17th foul here in the second half. That's a 1-and-1 situation. And instead, the Pirates inbounded on the baseline. Well, this is something you rarely see. To be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly how they're going to rule this one.
We'll see if we can turn back the clock here. And
that's what they're going to do. They're going to award the free throws to Fuquan Edwin. So instead of Wake Forest basketball and a chance to build on an 8-point lead, Edwin can cut it to 6. But the officials, bottom line, got the call right.
Well, that's right. They talked it over, they discussed it, and they realized that it was supposed to be a 1-and-1 situation. Let's see how this affects the Seton Hall Pirates here if they use this as momentum down the stretch.
You got a young Wake Forest team, 7 freshmen. We'll see if this ends up becoming a factor or perhaps a spark for one of these clubs. Edwin, the 1-and-1. Moot point, misses. But out of bounds, it'll stay with Seton Hall.
We're still on the same possession, so anything's possible here.
Jeff Bezdelic imploring his team. He knows this has the potential to be a big play. Well, funny how things have a way of working themselves out. And that really has been typical of Seton Hall's evening.
Able to get a second opportunity there, but still not able to convert. Like I said, when Seton Hall watches this tape, they're going to kick themselves for so many opportunities being left on the table.
Mine with the near steal. Harris thought about it, probably wise. Backs off. And a game that had pretty good offensive momentum the last few minutes is now grinding to a halt. Shake and bake. Harris now once again. Too strong. Edwin with the rebound.
With that shot he ended up getting, he should have probably shot the first NBA 3 he had to look at.
Fuquan Edwin strong to the rack.
Silky smooth player. Can slash on the best of them.
Fuquan Edwin now with 18 points as he starts to assert himself.
And it's funny you say Fuquan Edwin with 18 points because sitting out here, I've been waiting for Fuquan Edwin to explode, and you look down, it's a quiet 18, killing you softly with little plays here and there. Fuquan Edwin still in the game, keeping his team at arm's length.
The Teague goes back to the bench as Kevin Willard able to buy a couple of minutes. And all of a sudden, you start to feel the pressure mounting on this young Wake Forest team. Alamoto back to Harris. Shot clock now at 15. And Harris turns it over. Edwin, the 3 ball on the way. No, the follow jam is good by Brian Oliver. Pirates back within 4.
Brian Oliver doesn't have to score 30 for Seton Hall, but he does have to contribute in ways just like that, doing things like getting offensive rebounds.
Harris draws the foul very close to a backcourt violation. The under 8 media timeout. We've got a ball game. Seton Hall back within 4. C.J. Harris, the senior, shooting free throws when we come back.
Another big hand for tonight's contestant, John Walsh. And thanks for playing.
Pirates back within 4. Fuquan Edwin, the story the last couple of minutes, an 8-0 Seton Hall run. And Edwin really trying to take control of this basketball game.
Well, Seton Hall starting to get contributions from different guys. You see Fuquan Edwin with a nice cut down the middle of the lane and a finish. There he shoots the 3, and Brian Oliver comes flying out of the sky with the alley-oop dunk.
First basket of the game for Oliver. Kevin Willard would love to see more from him. Not to mention Fuquan Edwin.
Well, he was probably a feature guy at Georgia Tech, but right now trying to find his rhythm and find his place in this offense, the best thing that he can do is make his presence felt anytime he's on the floor, whether it's by getting rebounds, screens, doing things like getting offensive rebounds like we just saw there. He has to contribute every time he's on the floor.
Wake Forest now over 5 minutes without a basket, and C.J. Harris to calm down this Seton Hall run. He gets the first free throw.
Seems like the stop and go start on the free throw line allows Seton Hall to get a little bit of the momentum back.
Wake Forest back on top by 6. Near turnover, almost under 7 to play. Cosby now will set up the offense. Forrest been in a man-to-man defense most of the night, and it's been effective. Oliver back to Cosby, right side of the lane, rejected by Thomas. Boy, Thomas came out of nowhere.
That's why they like Thomas. Hard working inside and focused on playing defense.
Loses control. Cosby, the easy conversion. Cosby now in double figures with 11 points. Seton Hall hanging around, trailing by 4.
You get the sense that this game isn't over. Seton Hall knows their best basketball is in front of them.
How does Wake get some of its offensive swagger back, Ben?
Well, they're looking to get C.J. Harris or Travis McKay inside. I think they need to go back to that pressure defense that was able to create turnovers early in the game.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Miller McIntyre's got to hurry. McIntyre for 3. That's just good defense by the Hall. Pirates defense starting to take over. Devin Thomas looking on.
It's been a game of runs. You got Devin Thomas coming over. Nice block with the left hand, sending it out. And a back tap there by Fuquan Edwin, creating another steal for his teammate and backcourt mate, Cosby.
Great game thus far. Should be an even better finish. Seton Hall trailing by 4 with possession of the basketball. And official will talk things over with Fuquan Edwin. Ben, at this point, you'd have to think you've got Teague back in the game, a nice option inside. Edwin's been able to distribute off the penetration. Pick your poison time. Instead, they go inside. No good, but the follow-up's good by Mobley and 1.
That's what Mobley can do. He can score in a variety of ways, and he can provide the team with rebounds, offensive tips, screens. He's really a stat stuffer for this team. Really athletic and can even make threes from behind the arc. Way to stay aggressive and finish the play.
Seton Hall has trailed for most of this game. Mobley can't convert. Lead cut down to 2, under 6 to play.
This is intestinal fortitude time for both of these teams. who's going to take the momentum, who's going to finish this game. Both teams have newcomers on their rosters, all trying to find their place. This can be a game that propels you forward for the rest of the season or has you still rebuilding and searching.
Oh, a nice pass from Thomas. Cody Miller-McIntyre with a bucket. And Wake back on top by 4. Wake Forest going over 7 minutes in between field goals. Big one right there. Edwin back to work, under control. That's just a nice shot.
That's a strong, aggressive move, twisting and turning and able to find his way 360 degrees for the basket.
Seton Hall calls a timeout, 4:50 remaining. Wake Forest leading by 2. Fuquan Edwin starting to ignite this rally.
Well, you see Fuquan Edwin not shy. He started off the game with a three-pointer. Now he's going inside. That just shows you the offensive onslaught that he has in this game.
Edwin really starting to impose his will in this basketball game. 20 points, 7 rebounds. And then you get the sense he can create his own shot, and a good shot at that whenever he wants to.
Well, that was actually good defense. And you see right there, Fuquan Edwin said, I'm just not going to be denied on this possession.
2-point game, under 5 to play. Fuquan Edwin, one of the top offensive and defensive players in the Big East. And Ben, notice we have not heard from Travis McKay nor C.J. Harris in quite some time.
And I'm sure Coach Bizdelic called the play right out of the timeout, looking for those guys.
Well, Fisher had a wide open 3. Instead, it's a turnover. Mayan off to the races. Tie ball game. Seton Hall, trailing by as many as 14 points in this second half, is now tied it at 59.
Well, we talked about Tom Mayan, the backcourt mate of Fuquan Edwin, also with more than 2 steals per game. He showed you right there what he's able to do, creating a basket for himself in transition.
For Wake Forest, who to try to get the ball to here?
You definitely have to go inside, and I would go through Travis McKay. Here comes C.J. Harris off the screen.
Harris from 15, too easy that time. Maybe that's the shot that gets Wake Forest offense back on track.
Well, they know that's what he can do. Smart decision to put it in C.J. Harris's hands, and he knocks it down. Elbow jump shot.
Wake Forest with a 2-point lead, under 4 to play. He's sticking with the man-to-man defense. Boy, what a great game this has turned into, and a timeout's going to be called as Mayan was in no man's land. 3:40 remaining, and Seton Hall now a chance to talk things over. Have to think they're going to try to get the ball back into the hands of Fuquan Edwin, as Kevin Willard imploring his team right now, and you can tell he's feeling passionate about this one.
Well, the first half was all about Eugene Teague. The second half is all about Fuquan Edwin, and he's been doing it in a variety of ways. And you can see Coach Willard getting into his players saying, hey, we've got to get stops on defense as well as getting baskets on offense. So these baskets actually mean something.
Seton Hall doing an outstanding job on the boards. The 39-21 advantage. See if that becomes an even bigger factor down the stretch.
It's good to see the newcomers on both teams responding here down the stretch, making plays. It's going to be a terrific finish.
Next dead ball will be the under 4 media timeout. These teams will have a chance to talk things over again before the home stretch. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Mayan. Seton Hall turns it over. Travis McKay. Costly sequence there for the Pirates, and McKay, the junior, makes him pay.
Looks like a dunk contest out there for Travis McKay. He's again in the passing lanes and able to finish on the break.
Teague with a rebound, back up and in.
Been pretty clear the story tonight. You got Eugene Teague on the inside, Travis McKay with the steals and the finish in transition, and Harris getting it done on the outside.
Gutsy battle for both teams tonight. Seton Hall back within 2, under 3 to play. This is who you want to have the basketball, your senior, your leader, your vocal leader. C.J. Harris now career high 25 points, breaking his old record of 24, but a turnover. Fuquan Edwin, Seton Hall ties it up. Back and forth we go. The Pirates not going anywhere. Here's another turnover. Mayans just going to shoot it, and Seton Hall back out in front.
Wow. That's what you get when you get freshmen out there. The story of the game the first half were the turnovers of the Pirates. In this half, you see Wake Forest is the one turning the ball over, and it's Seton Hall that's capitalizing. Points in transition off turnovers.
Seton Hall's first lead since it was 23-20. We take another look. Edwin able to pick the pocket that time of Wake Forest. That tied it. And Seton Hall continuing to go to work defensively, much in the way that Wake Forest did at the end of the first half. Pirates have done it here in the second bit.
Yeah, and you see it's had the charge been leading by Fuquan Edwin and Tom Mayan out in the point. Really aggressive, long arm guys reaching on the inside. And when you have various guys bringing the ball up the court from Wake, if you're not secure with that basketball, it's going to lead out to an easy run out, dunk, or a layup.
Pirates on a 22-8 run since the 10-minute mark, and starting to warm up here at Joel Coliseum. Wins in non-conference play against teams from power conferences always difficult, Ben, but to do it on the road even more so. Pirates have a chance right here.
Important possessions. This is what we're going to find out. The spirit and the discipline of the teams, how you practice and how you play is how you finish here.
Inside to Thomas, outside to Mackay. Shot clock at 18. What a game this has turned out to be. C.J. Harris, little shake and bake, loses control. Deacons fortunate right there. 1:49 remaining. Seton Hall with a 2-point lead. Our game's conclusions headed your way next here at Joel Coliseum. Seton Hall back on top of Wake Forest by 2. Under 2 to play here at Joel Coliseum, alongside of Ben Ebong, Roy Philpott here with you. What a great game this has been. Ben, for Wake Forest, what do they have to do to win this one coming down the stretch?
Well, in the last 2 minutes, Wake has got to play through their senior leaders. Let's start off with C.J. Harris, who's been getting it done from the outside, and Travis Mackay turning up the heat on defense, able to get out in transition and finish plays for them. Got to take care of the ball, very important, as those turnovers have let Seton Hall back into the game.
C.J. Harris, a career-high 25. Meanwhile, for the Pirates, this 22-8 run, virtually all of their points have been scored in the paint off of layups or dunks. You got to figure dribble penetration is going to be critical, and good shots obviously important down the stretch too.
That's right. Seton Hall turned up the heat in their backcourt with Tom Mayan and Fuquan Edwin, looking to get those guys the ball too offensively. Either Eugene Teague or Fuquan Edwin on the inside for Seton Hall has got to make a play here in the last 2 minutes.
This game has seen a 16-point swing. Wake's largest lead was at 14, with just under 18 to play. Harris now, 3 seconds on the shot clock and a costly turnover. Well, these two halves have basically been mirror images of each other. Those were the kinds of plays that Seton Hall struggled with. And here's Roundtree with a pick, and how about that?
Petty play from the freshman Roundtree. He can do a plethora of things for you on the court. Jumps in front of a loose ball right there and able to get a foul as he gets careening out of bounds.
Roundtree, after the steal, like a defensive back that time, able to pick that pass off, will go to the line for the 1-and-1. And how big are these free throws?
And it looked just like an easy inbounds over there on the sideline, but it cost Seton Hall a possession as Roundtree able to get the steal and earn himself a trip to the line.
Didn't look like a freshman on that one.
Think about how big that steal was. It was a 2-point game with Wake losing. Now they're going to go ahead and tie the ball up. That makes all the decisions you have to make on the other end for Seton Hall a lot more difficult.
I hate to say we jinxed him that time, but as good as he looked on the first one, equally as bad on his second attempt.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back.
All he can do is laugh about it. And we don't blame you, young man. Seton Hall still with a 1-point lead. $1:44 to go.
Freshman on freshman at the point as they bring it up here in the last minute of the game. Very important possessions.
Seton Hall at 6-2, Wake Forest at 4-4. An important game for both teams. Round one of the 5-second call. Ryan just able to get rid of it. Here's Cosby, rejected. Roundtree comes out of there with it.
I can't even tell you who blocked that shot. There were 3 or 4 Wake Forest guys over there with hands on it.
I believe it was Devin Thomas.
And if it was Devin Thomas, he's been doing that all night, making those plays around the basket offensively and defensively.
Madison Jones may have gotten away with a travel here. C.J. Harris coming through in the clutch.
Well, he's the guy, and that's the shot he's been looking for. They've been waiting for this all season long. This is something you know C.J. Harris has been able to do, and the fans are loving it.
Under 60 to play. Wake Forest back on top by 2. C.J. Harris already a career high. Now with 28 points, 7 of 10 from long range. Let's take a look at our good hands all-state play of the game. And how about Thomas with the rejection at a critical time, Ben?
Well, you see those plays right there may not show up in the stat book. He may or may not get a block for that play, but think about how crucial that is. In the last minute of the game, he stopped the basket on one end, and look at C.J. Harris come down and make the 3 on the other end. That's how games can swing, one play at a time.
A 2-point lead for Wake Forest. Seton Hall basketball, 52 and change left. And back and forth we have gone these last 5 minutes. Ben, we thought it was going to be a close game, and indeed it's turned out to be that. And really credit both of these teams. A gutty effort here tonight to try to pick up a quality non-conference win.
No, great effort on both sides. And as you can see, it's been a tale of 2 halves, and the turnovers have really told the story of this game. So down the stretch here in the last several possessions, who can get quality baskets, quality opportunities, and take care of the basketball is going to determine who's going to win this contest.
They're checking the time left. They're going to add a couple of seconds back. 54.4 now. And Jeff Bezdelit in year 3. Kevin Willard also in his 3rd season. Both of these coaches know what a win on a night like tonight can do for your program as you get closer to conference play. How do you like this matchup? Roundtree working against the point guard Mayan. 6'1" versus 6'8". And now Edwin nearly turned it over.
And Coach Willard wanted to ISO Edwin right there at the elbow, and he got an opportunity to drive to the basket. Fortunate that it didn't go off of him. Seton Hall retains possession.
Smythe checking back in the game, one of the sharpshooters. He's been relatively quiet tonight. Back to Edwin.